All right, we have a bottled in bond, but it's 8 years, and from somebody that we know that's from local. From local is local, was local. Let's see what it is next. Welcome back to Pars and Pours. Jim here. This is the Golf Century Whiskey Channel. If you would, like, subscribe, hit that stuff across the bottom right there, including that notification bell. That way a lot of this information will get to other whiskey enthusiasts. It never hurts to increase the subscribership, right? So what do we have today? We have Old McBrayer bottled in bond. Old McBrayer bourbon bottled in bond, 8 years. It says a favorite of Kentucky. Of course, when you have bottled in bond stuff, that means that it has been aged a minimum of 4 years. It's 100 proof, and it was distilled and bottled in the same season. Now, that's kind of a misnomer in the way that you like, well, if I pick out my season, I can be bottled in bond. Not necessarily. They pick the seasons for you. It's the first half of the season or year, or the second half of the season or year. Okay, what makes this thing so unique, and why do you need to know about Old McBrayer? All right, Old McBrayer is just another bottle in the line of the McBrayer line. The McBrayer line is a very underrated brand, and I only say that because we are able to meet these guys at a couple of events now. One was in Cincinnati for children's cancer, and another one was at Bourbon on the Banks. Turns out they're from this town right here. Or at least they graduated. The oldest son graduated from this town right here. And they've been in Cincinnati ever since. Now they're working their way back into Kentucky. So, and they found out that they're actually related to a W.H. McBrayer, the judge, who has a history of making very good whiskey, to the point that they took their Cedar Brook and did it and won a lot of accolades at a World's Fair, if not the first World's Fair. Anyway, this one is their latest release, and on the back it says, and this whiskey is the resurrection of one of the oldest brands in the history of Kentucky bourbon. The history of Old McBrayer began in 1870 when Captain J.H. McBrayer founded a distillery that would soon be purchased by none other than W.H. McBrayer. Famed early distiller in the bourbon industry icon, known for superior quality and superb flavor, Old McBrayer was a classic spirit preferred by whiskey connoisseurs of a bygone era. All right, so today that they are honoring it. So I've had a few just to do my own little research, and we're going to give it some right here. And so what impresses me more is that it's an 8 year. So if you have the stomach to let your product go for an extra, basically double what's required, that means either one of two things. Either it's really good, or you need to let it age a little bit more. So we're going to find out. But it's very affordable, right? It's very affordable right now. If you want to find out any more about them, go to McBourbon Legacy Spirits. McBrayerLegacySpirits.com, and you'll see it. And they have this whole history laid out. The owner is just ate up with the history, and it's a really interesting story that's actually connected to E.H. Taylor. So if you want to learn more a little bit about it, go to McBrayer Legacy Spirits. Okay, on the nose doesn't have a lot of depth, but you get the caramel apple, of sweetness right up front, and maybe a little bit of barrel char. But it just hits you. It certainly is not, it's not off-putting whatsoever. It's actually very pleasant. Yeah, it's just, and when you swirl it in a glass, you get it has a tremendous amount of legs, hopefully giving me that oily finish. That's what we're looking for. Salute. Okay, first swig of the day. First swig of the day, right? First sip of the day. And I'm getting, I do get the caramel apple in the front. It's very loaded onto the front. It does have what would be the oily finish that you're looking for because you see it from the legs. And just a very light finish. Now we're going to get another sip since that was the first one. Again, it's not, it hasn't changed, so that's a good thing. Yeah, it's a very, very sweet. It's a very, very sweet right up the front. Still get the caramel, get that light fruity note, get the oily palate, and now I'm starting to get the finish. So after a second sip, that it's starting to do very, very well. Okay, now that we've sat here and we've let it coat the glass a little bit and going into it, the same notes except for the barrel comes in a little bit stronger now. Yeah, still extraordinarily pleasing. Yeah, it's still very sweet on the front end. It's got that oily texture and we'll call it a light finish to the very end. If you're not wanting to have one of those bourbons that burns you all the way down, this is a perfect example of what you were looking for. The other time when I was experimenting, I got a dark chocolate note, like a dark cocoa note. It wasn't sweet though. It was very chocolatey. And that was very pleasing as well. So there's several different flavors to be had in here. One more. A little bit of caramel. The caramel's overriding the apple now. Just nice, even keeled, man. Yeah, this is one that you could sit down and just kill it almost in a setting. This so easy to get by. 100 proof, 8 years, caramel, sweet caramel apple, a little bit of barrel char, sometimes the dark chocolate note, and just what I prefer in a finish. It's still sitting there, it's just not killing me. So I really do like that. So let's give them a hand, right? Thumbs up. We'll call this one a birdie. This is just hits all the marks. Old McBrayer, right? Old McBrayer Bourbon. See if it'll find that. Old McBrayer Bourbon, bottled and bond, 8 year. Go see him on McBrayer Legacy Spirits. And guys, if you like what you saw, or if you got more, ideas or something you'd like to see, please put it in the show notes below, and don't forget to like and subscribe. As usual, though, we want you to save those pours, but share those pours.